Hey everybody, welcome back to another review. Just did the the Piece of Woman review not too long ago. I think I published it like 2 days ago. So now we're on to my second one, the second film that I just saw this year. Quite quite crazy how I'm seeing some of these films. Because I didn't think we'd see much in January, but given all the stuff that was pushed, we're probably going to see a lot of movies this month. And the next film that I saw, I literally just saw it and I heard it and I was like, let me go see it. And well, I didn't go to a theater, but I saw it on Amazon Prime. It is the film called Herself. Um, and just to give some context about what Herself is about, Herself is about the story of a mother and her two daughters, and it talks a lot about abuse and it talks a lot about trauma and a lot about physical abuse. Needless to say, the father is a bit of an abusive husband, and um, the mother and the two daughters decide to leave the house, and they eventually, after making like many trips to like hotels and driving around their car a lot, the mother eventually comes to find that she can actually self-build her own house, and with the help of a lot of people within the community and a lot of other people in her life, she is able to hopefully build a house for her children and for herself. So that's kind of the gist of what the story is about. And going into it, I knew I knew the first part of the premise. I knew about the idea of about abuse and stuff, and I was curious to see how that was going to get translated into a film like this. And I will say the first thing about it is that I think the depictions of both trauma and abuse, I think, are very realistic. I think that they provide a very realistic depiction of it and quite a startling representation of it because when it happens, you're just very tense and you're very scared that this is happening. And those are all the right emotions that you should be having when you see this stuff play out about physical abuse and these types of traumatic events that are happening to this woman. Um, it's the absolute right feeling that you should be having, and I love that feeling was translated. Um, and I also love, not spoiling anything, but it's not a spoiler if you obviously know a lot about physical abuse and you know about the kind of the stuff that happens afterwards. Um, it's not a spoiler to say about this character, this mother character, also deals with PTSD, and and I love the way the film chooses to show this that her source of PTSD, every time that her source of PTSD comes back, the husband, whenever the husband comes back into the equation, it triggers her PTSD. It triggers images. It triggers her to get anxious. And you see her having a hard time to breathe. Like you see the effects of that, and it's both like an anxiety and effect and both a PTSD effect because you see her flashing and remembering these images, and you see her trying so hardly to just keep some self-control. And with the anxiety attack and also with these images, you see that she's dealing with a form of PTSD, and I love the way that it was depicted. That depiction I thought was very, very real, and I really, really love that. But all of it, these emotions, all come from Claire Doom, who is the mother, and I have to say she is mesmerizing here. She is also a co-writer on the film as well, and I have to say from both her as a writer and as a performer, she delivers exceptionally here. Um, you get a full identity with this character. You see her being a loving mother. You see how tortured eternally that she is, and how she so badly wants to make things right, and she wants things to go her way, and she wants everything for her children. Like you see how great of a mother she really is. Um, and all that comes from Claire Dune, and she's just exceptional here. I was really really impressed with her, and to know that she had writing credits on it, you can tell that it added more to the personal performance that was being put forth, and I really really liked what she brought to the table. Because you completely are sold that she is a mother. Like you are completely sold on that idea that she is a mother, and And the chemistry between her and with little kids is also quite good. There's a moment in the film that I won't spoil, but the idea of PTSD and the idea of li- reliving traumatic events kind of plays into one of the kids. And there's this moment where the mother has looks at her child, and she starts putting pieces together as to why she's feeling a certain way. And that concept comes to play later on, and you come to really see how great of a mother she really is, and how much of a prick, to say the least, that the father is. Um, and um, More so, I never found that the film fed to one type of tone, and I love that. It feels like many things, you know. It feels very lighthearted at many times. It feels tense at some moments. It feels very heavy in certain moments. It never feels like it's catering to one type of tone, and I really, really, really love that about this movie. I really love that they didn't just go for one particular tone, because at first it kind of feels like that it feels like it's approaching one type of tone, but that is because that's the atmosphere of which that mother is in right now. It's all playing to her. It's all playing to the mother character. Um, the movie is all about about Claire Danes. Um, and Another element to it that I believe is quite felt is the direction. I thought the direction was very tender and very infectious as well. Like, there are spurts of spirit where this film just comes out, and you are just invited, and you're um, just really um, moved in many ways by seeing Claire Dune being so happy and feeling so free. Um, and Above all else, though, I like how this movie takes its thematic concept and where they end up going at the end. They don't try to do a happy ending, or at least they don't try to do something that seems easy. They try to do something that feels more meaningful, and they achieve it so well, because the ending leaves a great impression of what the film is really about. And what the film is really about is about rebuilding. And funny how it is, you know, because they're literally building a house, you know, um, and just the image of the ending and what they're trying to represent about this idea of rebuilding, it really hit me. And I won't spoil but a moment that happens before the ending really hit me, and I was like tearing up. I was getting rather emotional because you feel so much for Claire Danes. You really want her to be okay. You really want her to do right or not do right, but you know, succeed in her goal for getting a house and having a place for her children. You really want her to succeed. There's this moment that happens before the end that just hits you, um, and and the ending then comes, and then instead of going for a route that is easy, they go for something that is a lot more meaningful and a lot more impactful, and taking a different direction on the idea of rebuilding. And I really loved it. I really, really loved how they left this film, where they left this film, um, because there's nothing more delightful to find something you didn't come to see, and you find yourself just completely invested into it, all due to Claire Danes' remarkable performance and her dialogue. Um, this is a very sensitive, you know, movie. Like, there's very sensitive material that we're touching on here, and it's handled graciously and carefully, and it never feels overplayed or underplayed. It finds its in between beautifully. It's funny, charming, heartwarming, and heartbreaking. Like I said, that one moment before the end just really hit me. But most of all, it's important. And that combination of emotions mounted to a piece that I sincerely hope you all watch as soon as possible. For it is definitely one to leave something for you to enjoy, to learn, and to feel. And that is how you craft a great story, and herself delivers tremendously.